Hello everyone, welcome to Jagriti Yatra's Meet the Yatripreneur Google Hangout series. My name is Anant Krishna and I will be the moderator of the discussion today. If you want to be featured in these series, please drop a note to ashwinyogesh@gmail.com. He's the producer of these series. Today we get in the world of mobile, telecom and technology. We're really happy to have our Yatripreneur, Vivek Khandelwal with us. Vivek, welcome to Meet the Yatripreneur.
Hi Anand. Hi everyone.
Hello. Give us an introduction to your enterprise Applied Mobile Labs.
Sure. So we at Applied Mobile Labs are a technology company focused on building mobile-first solutions centered around mobile education and mobile-based advertising. We have been around for now good 5.5 years. We started off right after the first yatra, the first yatra in this decade, right? So we started off in March '09, right? It's been now close to five and a half years since we have been operational,
Right.
right? Yeah.
So what is applied? So you said mobile advertising, right?
Uh-huh.
So tell us some of the, what exactly is mobile advertising?
So, mobile advertising is actually a fairly old phenomena. It's been there for about good 8 years now, right? The One of the key reasons why advertisers have shifted their focus from the large screen and the hoardings and the print media to mobile is because of the attention span which a mobile screen enjoys. The mobile screen is barely 6 inches away from from your eyes, right? You are constantly hooked to your mobile through the day, right? And the fact that that mobile advertising can be tracked very efficiently, the return on their dollars very efficiently, right? So that's why mobile advertising has really evolved very rapidly over the past 7 to 8 years. What we do specifically is that we help we help advertisers leverage mobile in a fashion which gives them the ability to target the right audience with the best segmentation possible. So to give you a quick example, we do a lot of work on SMS and voice and flash messages, wherein we offer our customers localized advertisements from advertisers in a specific area in a specific city who are a, wa- uh, offering a local service or a product or a deal, right?
Right.
And on top of that, we put intelligence in terms of customer behavior, customer usage data, right, which helps us engage with the customer efficiently and also generate a quality lead for the advertiser.
All right. Before you get too far in that, let's
Mm.
just look at some of the statistics out there, right? There's a slide. I don't know if you can see the slide. Basically, it's just giving a landscape view of what is going on in India. There are
Mhm.
about what 800 million people on mobile phones right now,
Yes. Yes.
and they're spending close to 2 hours on the phone, which
Yeah.
is pretty amazing, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and but what was staggering was that only 10% of them have a smartphone. The
Correct.
rest are all like normal old school phones. So it's so I'm assuming that you're targeting all kinds of phones as well, right?
Yeah. So one of the key things in mobile advertising with which a lot of companies in this space struggle is the span of their audience, right? Given the fact we work very closely with telecom operators like Airtel, Vodafone, Docomo, Idea, we have the ability to reach out to customers using a feature phone as well as to
Uh-huh.
customers using a smartphone, right?
Right.
Clearly, every advertiser wants to target their audience differently. There would be a separate product or a offering for a rural audience, and there would be a separate product and offering for an urban audience, right?
Right.
And given the fact we have that ability, right, we enjoy that leverage when we go out there in the market.
Right.
Yeah. But
Actually, yeah.
yeah, go on, please.
No, actually, can you put the second slide? Because I just want to talk about that evolution and, from how fast this landscape is evolving. We started with the feature phones, right? Then there are
Yeah.
smartphones. The feature phones have their unique way, that you can advertise. Like you said, SMS, or voice flashes. Let's look at the evolution. Talk to us through this slide that we're going to put up on where does mobile advertising stand right now. I mean, you gave us a brief insight already, but
Mhm.
take us through this slide.
Sure.
Ashwin, can you put the second slide? Ashwin? Ashwin?
Yeah. So I'll quickly walk you through what all has been happening so far. So
Uh-huh.
until 2009, a lot of so the smartphone penetration just took off around 2009 or so. The first iPhone had hit the market in 2007, right? It took its time to reach India. Obviously, the penetration was extremely low because of the high pricing. Android started picking up in India only around 2009, 2010, right?
Right.
And it was only in recent years, while the pricing actually went below $100, below rupees 5,000 for smartphones, right? Uh, the penetration actually shot up, right? Uh, Also, one a very important thing to note is the fact that while the penetration of smartphone is just 10%, right?
Uh-huh.
If you just look at the actual number, it's about 80 million, right?
Right.
We have a country with 80 million smartphone users. The entire population of US put together would be about 250 odd million, right? So,
Right.
so we're talking about one third of US population in India with access to smartphones, right? There is no reason why that audience will be small enough for anyone in this current market, right?
Right.
Yeah. Right. So moving forward with the slide, right? Uh, Up until 2009, the market was pretty much focused on targeting feature phones, right? The only
Uh-huh.
medium there was SMS and voice,
Right.
and it was pretty much unregulated. Okay.
Right.
Somewhere in 2010 and 11, the TRAI, which is the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, they introduced regulations on SMS marketing and voice-based marketing, right? Which further slashed down a lot of budgets which were allocated to these mediums, right?
Uh-huh.
Parallelly, what also happened is that the country saw an evolution in terms of its data usage.
Right.
So the data usage started going up because of better feature phones, or basically introduction of the first generation of smartphones, right? So that data usage started going up. People started moving towards mobile web as a medium to consume content. A lot of content was consumed on mobile web. People watching movies, downloading videos from YouTube, listening to songs, right? So this led to the introduction of mobile web advertising, wherein the likes of Google, InMobi, Visa, which primarily work on display advertising, started kicking in, right? Uh, it is only in recent years that the entire focus has started shifting towards the app economy per se, wherein everybody now wants to occupy a piece of mind share of a user, right? And get their own app installed on the user's device, right? So that's what has been the overall trend over the past 6 to 7 years,
Right.
from doing simple SMS campaigns to having a dedicated app on a user's device, right? And pushing them more and more engaging content. Yeah.
So you're doing all this, right? I mean, you're also including feature phones and you have smartphones as well, right?
Yeah, so our platform essentially spans across mediums, from SMS to voice to USSD flashes to smartphones to in-app notifications, right? We cater to all the mediums and help advertisers target the right audience.
Right. So if I get all the promotional messages on my SMS, that is coming from you. Is that it?
Partly yes, right. A lot of these SMSs are customized to the audience, right? So if
Uh,
you find something which is not relevant to you, it's most likely not coming from me.
okay.
That's for sure. Yeah.
So who are your clients? I mean, not naming any such, but telecom companies are your clients, and
Yes.
the people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so telecom companies are so the reason we work so closely with telecom operators is
Right,
because of the reach they bring into you, right? For example, a Bharti Airtel or a Vodafone would have
right,
access to 200 million users upfront in the country, right? Now
right,
that's a lot of user base to target, right?
right,
So that's one big reason to work with operators directly. On the other hand, we work with a lot of large brands and media agencies, helping them find out the right audience and spread the message about their particular product, offering, new launches,
right,
and so forth. Yeah.
right. But you don't work with direct clients like a hairspray who wants to send some SMSs to certain kind of people. Do you work with end clients like that who want to advertise
Yes.
their brand?
So we work with end clients as well. We work with end clients. We work with media agencies as well. We also work
Uh-huh.
with non-profits, for example, right? Helping them reach out to either their audience for data collection, helping them
Right.
reach out to sponsors and so forth. Yeah.
So what is the revenue model here? Who's paying who here? Obviously, the operator is charging you for sending this, right? And your client, like a brand or a media agency, is giving you money to advertise, right?
Yeah, so broadly speaking, the model is as follows. The end customer, so it has been designed keeping the end customer in mind, where
Uh-huh.
to ensure that they are not charged anything for receiving this content, right?
Right.
So now this is a classic pipeline marketing uh, or a lead generation model wherein the advertisers pays only for performance.
Right.
So whichever customers are interested in the particular service, product, or offer by the advertiser, right? The advertiser gets charged for those customers, right? And that's pretty much it. So,
And
so,
the
so
operators,
yeah.
yeah. And the operators bill you for it? I mean, do you
Yes.
handle the
So, so,
billing?
so the idea essentially has been that the operators now should get a pie of the mobile advertising industries actually, right? So operators get a cut of the revenue generated from advertisers, right? And
Uh-huh.
we take back our commission home. Yeah.
Acha. And you don't create the ad, right? I mean,
No.
you don't have any facility that has an in-house ad creation, do you?
No. So we have limited very consciously ourselves to a platform play wherein we only provide them the tools to target the audience and generate leads.
Right.
Content essentially remains their forte, right?
Uh-huh.
And they ensure that they have the right content, the right format, go to the right users. Yeah.
And the intelligence about the audience, who brings you that? I mean, do you have the intelligence, market intelligence, or does the operator bring you the intelligence?
So a lot of this intelligence has been built over time, right?
Uh-huh.
And has been built in-house with the usage that has been happening on the platform itself, right?
I
So
see.
so customer preference data, customer data for usage, location obviously is what we get, uh, uh, is what we use very heavily to ensure that everyone gets relevant relevant content on mobile
Uh-huh.
phone. Yeah. So location. So yeah. Hmm.
So if I were in Mumbai, say I would in a particular suburb like Navi Mumbai, would I
Mhm.
get like coupons? You'll know my location and you'll get coupon through SMS. You'll send it to
Yes.
me because you know my location is Navi Mumbai, right?
Yes. So you would essentially get offers relevant to your profile, right? If that is known to me,
Uh-huh.
you would get offers relevant to your interest if that is known to you, no, sorry, known to us.
Right.
And obviously, all these offers would be centralized around in and around your location. Yeah.
Awesome. So you're very, very focused. I mean, I can sense the focus of the way you say it, that
Huh.
it's
So
just
that's
mobile
the
advertising.
exact reason why that's the only possible mechanism for advertisers to find the actual worth of their dollars.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Now, how is your organization funded? Is there like, is it basically mostly on the revenue you're getting, or do you also have investors?
We do have investors. We had raised an angel round quite some time back, right?
Uh-huh.
And since then we have been fairly well placed with our revenues. Yeah,
I see. I see. And you're Delhi based, and what's your team size?
we're about 45 odd people right now, and based out of NCR. Our office is located in Noida.
All right. So now, Vivek, you said the enterprise started, pretty much right after the Yatra, the first Yatra, right?
Yes,
And at that time, it was called Voice Tap, right?
yes.
Take us to the first idea, what that exactly did at that time, and how that has, of course, evolved with this very dynamically evolving industry.
Right, right, sure. So when we started off with the concept that how could we use, how could we bridge the gap between knowledge providers and knowledge seekers? The premise at that time was the fact that a lot of students and a lot of young professionals struggled to get the right advice regarding their career, education, because they did not have access to the right set of individuals who could provide them with with the knowledge, right? So we focused on creating a knowledge pool of experts, of people like you and me, right, who could give gyan, knowledge, who could mentor uh, students, professionals on on the on topic of their interest, right? Now that we were on with that model for quite some time. We did a quick pilot for about 5 6 months. Post that, from there we moved. Now the challenge with that model was of monetization. There was no direct wallet in the country which we could leverage to charge the customer efficiently, right? And with that challenge, we essentially went down the route of telecom operators, wherein wherein we decided to use the actual telecom wallet to charge the end customer and actually offer them the services, right?
Right.
That model worked pretty much fine for us, right? We rolled
Uh-huh.
out, so we rolled out a whole bunch of products centralized around education as a concept,
Right.
right, to our users, right? And in fact, the current model is actually a simple extension of the original idea. The original idea focused on creating knowledge seekers with knowledge providers. If you put this basic concept in a business marketplace environment, you would find that that we can use the same platform to connect potential buyers with potential sellers, right?
Right. Right.
And that pretty much is what we're doing right now. Yeah.
Right, but but there was some shift from what you were doing to something else, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because that model was either not working or the landscape was dramatically changing,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Yeah.
at that point, I mean, what do you guys do when things are like not looking good? I mean, was there talk about failure? Was there talk about redirection, pivoting, as they say, the term?
Yeah.
Take us through some of the times when that happened. What exactly was the nature of discussions?
Right. So, to give you an example, so we pivoted close to about 3 to 4 times over the past 5.5 years, right?
Right,
And I think our existing model is the most sustainable one. We have been doing this for almost now 20
right,
months plus, right? Now we have established name for ourselves in the market, in the industry as well.
right,
So we went on. The original idea which we had taken off with obviously wasn't sustainable because of the fact that there was no monetization
right,
around the basic education marketplace. There
right,
was little penetration of credit cards in India. And there was no better way of collecting money from the end user, right? At that time, there was no Snapdeals and no Flipkarts, right?
right,
Which enjoyed such a great traction as they do now, right?
right,
From there, we moved on to the telecom operator route, wherein we deployed our platform and our services in the operator environment, right? That went on for about good 2.5 to 3 years. Post which TRAI introduced certain regulations, because of which the entire value-added service industry went down the drain.
right.
The regulations from TRAI impacted operator revenues from VAS services by as much as 80%, right?
Wow.
And it is exactly during that time we had rolled out our mobile advertising platform, which
Right,
helped us to actually, you know, help us to stand again, right? Stand again,
right,
and stand tall, right?
right.
And walk through this. Yeah.
So I mean, so is the pivot? I mean, in your mind, has it been a good? I mean, it almost seems like it has turned out positively for you guys. You made the right bets. Is that a right statement to make?
Right bet is a very strong word to say. It's more
Uh-huh.
so we've had our share of failures as well, where
Uh-huh.
each pivoting, each time we had made a decision, it was made after we had done certain mistakes, after we
Right.
realized that yes, this is the wrong path to walk on, right? Now that we have been through, we have been in Canada industry for about 5.5 years, so we understand what works, what does not work. We have a fair bit of idea regarding what the user preference is, how the users react to certain products, right? So we have pivoted. I think that's the standard evolution cycle for any startup, which would have lasted, which would last for 5.5 to 6 years, right?
Right.
They
Right.
have to obviously iterate again and again to sustain themselves. Yeah.
So you co-founded this. So tell us about your other co-founder a little bit, so we understand, what kind of team you have.
Right. So Mrigang is the original founder, right? He's also the CEO of the company. Mrigang, in fact, was a part of the Jagriti Yatra original team. He was, if I'm not wrong, in the current engine room setup. He, along with Swapnil and Ashutosh, was driving the train at that time, right? So when we started off the company, I had met Mrigang on the train itself, right? We had a quick chat about what's happening right now in the industry. How is uh, how is mobile coming up to be the next big thing, right?
Right.
Megang, he's a graduate from INSEAD. He has about 15 years experience. Yeah, he's about
Right.
16 years experience in sales, consulting, telecom, right?
Right.
So he brings in a lot of experience, a lot of gray cells and gray hair, uh,
Right.
and strategy outlook, right, which helps us, pivot and make the right decision at the right time. Yeah.
Right, that's awesome. Now, when you look at the future, what do you see? I mean, where are you? I mean, you said your smartphones are increasing, obviously. Where is look at the future in the next 5 years? Can you tell us? Obviously, as much as you know, because it's very hard to predict the future. But which direction are you looking in the future? Give us an insight into that.
Sure. So clearly the shift to mobile is happening now as we speak. Uh, as a country, we will skip the large screen revolution, which probably happened in the US or the West, right? We will be primarily, and we are in fact primarily, a mobile first country. The smartphone penetration is amazing, and it's in fact it's very much encouraging. The recent rollouts of Google and the alliances, they focus they focus on regional content. They focus on getting everyone to at least start using smartphones, right? That itself is a very exciting place to be in, right? I think over the next 5 years, we would be so we'll relive the exact 1996-98 era where websites were being found, websites were being created, and they were being discovered, right? The app economy is in that phase right now. Apps are being created by each and every one for each and everything, right? There is today we have an app for practically every mundane task that we do,
Right. Right.
right? So I think the next 5 years would be primarily focused on getting everyone hooked onto mobile. That's one. Second would be getting everyone to getting each and all sorts of app being developed and deployed on these app stores, right? And
Right.
third would be the discovery, right? App discovery continues to be a big challenge, right? So app discovery is what I believe the next big thing would be, right? Over the next 5 years,
Right.
it'll become much more simpler to access mobile applications and discover mobile applications, right?
Right.
And clearly, mobile will continue to rise, and will definitely overshadow everything that's happening right now on the large screen. Yeah.
Right. But so are you, I mean, do you have any specific goals? Like you have these many people to hit. I mean, do you have any internal scorecard? Like the next 5 years, we're going to hit the 1.2 billion people. Is there any scorecards like that?
Yeah, so over the next 5 years, as someone who is in the mobile advertising industry, uh, a definite benchmark or a different target should be to at least touch touch across 60 to 70% of the Indian telecom base,
I
right?
see. Okay.
Have your presence being felt there, felt
Right.
across a good chunk of the mobile subscriber base, right?
Right.
And then evolve from there. Yeah,
So that is your goal, right? That you see ahead for you.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to shift a little bit of gears here and go back to your personal journey. You were in the Jagriti Yatra, you were in IIT still, then
Uh-huh.
you landed up with a startup immediately off. Tell us a little bit about the personal journey from there, like from the Yatra onwards to the startup and being in that for this long. What changes have you seen in yourself?
Uh, well, for starters, the learning curve is very steep. As you would expect in any typical startup, right?
Mhm.
Uh, if somebody has been a part of the early team, right, the learning curve is really very steep, right?
Right,
You move up the curve at a very early age. You're able to see and experience things which you would typically experience after say 3 to 4 years in a corporate life, right?
right,
Those challenges are thrown to you on day zero for startup,
right,
right? You start appreciating and you start showing and appreciating ownership at a very different level,
right,
right? Uh, you know, you 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 understand uh, you understand people management, right? Now, how building a team really is the most critical thing, right? You're able to load big teams and big
right,
teams working on huge floors, right?
right,
You enjoy working in small teams. You enjoy dealing with people. You enjoy that everyone grows together as is a company. Yeah.
right. Do you enjoy firing people also? I mean, you have to do that,
Well,
right?
yeah. So hiring and firing are actually the most difficult part while you're in a startup, right? Hiring the right talent is the
Right,
most difficult, right? And so is letting go of the wrong talent, right?
right,
If somebody is a misfit, right, there is no reason why they should stay for a second more in the company, right? Because they would be wasting their time more than more than
right,
yours, right? There
right,
is no reason why they should hamper their own growth while being with
right,
you. Yeah. So yeah, firing is fine, right? As long as it's done for the good of both the employee and the
right,
startup as well. Yeah.
right. But there is a skill set for managing people and a skill set for managing technology. Which do you think in your mind is easier?
Managing technology by far, by
Is
far.
it? Yeah.
Managing technology is much more easier, m- much more easier than managing people. People are complicated, right? Everyone has a different frequency. Code is not, right?
Right. It is not.
End of the day, code is simple, right? If something has
Right.
to go from point A to point B, it will go from point A to point B, right?
Right.
That might not be the case if a person has to go from point A to point B, right?
Right.
So yeah,
Okay. Let me throw another this in that variable in that. How about managing clients and managing your audience?
managing clients and managing customers. Managing
Customers.
customers takes the first priority,
Right.
right? Managing clients takes the second priority. The
Right.
customer is the real king, right?
Right.
The
Right.
client will definitely follow you if you have the customer.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are four sets of skill sets here. There's customers, there's clients, there's employees, and there's technology. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So which one do you enjoy the most?
Well, people is the key, really speaking, right?
Right.
If as long as you can build a great team, right?
Right.
Rest everything will align itself accordingly. If you have a
Awesome.
great team, you can build a great product. If you have a great
Right.
product, you can get the right customers with yourself.
Right.
If you have the right customers, the right clients will definitely follow you.
Awesome. Who are your role models?
Oh, okay. Uh, Role models. Well, I've never really chased anyone per se as a role model, but I've been definitely influenced by a lot of people, and some of them came from the Yatra, right? Manoj Nandi was one of them, right?
Right.
I really respect the way he has built Nandi Foundation from
Right.
scratch up to a non-profit that is able to serve efficiently so many children across the country.
Right.
Right. Manoj Nandi was one of them. Bankar Roy at Telonia
Right.
was a great influencer. Right. It is beautiful how important can unlearning be at times. Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
these are the people.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's interesting that all the techies mentioned Steve Jobs. I guess not. Is it?
Well, I'm I I've stayed at arm's length from being called a techie always.
All right. All right. All right. I
So
take that
yeah.
back. I'll take that back. All right. What specific advice do you want to give to people who want to, enter entrepreneurship just like you did?
Uh, so I don't think I qualify for giving out advice, but
Come on, you are. You
I'll,
are.
I'll
Yes.
share
Come on.
my experience at least.
Yeah.
Uh, Fail fast, fall fast, fail fast, and you know, take risk while you can take them. Right. That's really key. That's really the
Right.
key. Uh,
Right.
Build, make, team up with the right set of people. Right.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
Cherish relationships,
Right.
nurture people, empower them,
Right.
and there is no reason why you'll fall short of anything that you have been dreaming about. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I have one question which I think I missed out earlier that I want to ask
Sure.
is how much does it cost to send an ad? I mean, I want to send an SMS,
Mhm.
right? How do you charge me? Like, how much does it cost? Give me some numbers. Like, I want to send. I have a hairspray brand,
Right.
right? I want to. Do you say that to reach 10 million people, this is the cost for you? Can you
So,
talk about this? Yeah.
so right. Here's the fact, right? People. So the industry has moved from generating eyeballs to generating actual leads, right? While you might send it to say 1 lakh people, you might only get 5 calls. Right.
Okay.
The way you would want to approach this as an advertiser would be, I want to generate. I can potentially take 100 customers in a day, or I want to sell 100 hairsprays in a day. Right.
Huh.
Send me customers to buy those 100 spray. Right.
Right.
That's a better way of actually approaching a media campaign, right?
Right.
And that's how we actually design and we focus on delivering this.
So what is the standard? Just a ballpark number. What is the cost of getting 100 customers?
So again, for example, let's say in case of a hairspray, which would fall under the cosmetics category, right?
Uh,
Uh, a lot of people in the industry would work on a standard cost per acquisition model. So let's say if your spray costs 500 rupees, right? The industry would work on a 5 to 10% commission, right? So anything
uh,
between rupees 25 to rupees 50 per hairspray sold. Right. So only when you are
uh,
able to sell a hairspray is when you should actually pay me out as an advertiser. Yeah.
and you can track all this, right? You have enough tracking
Yes.
stuff to say
Yes.
that.
So we work very closely with advertisers, trying to understand how their platform works, right, and
Right.
integrate themselves with their POS. Yeah.
And this cost is reducing as we move ahead in time. Is that what is going on?
The costs will reduce really, but the key again, Anand, has to be more on how much value can you derive from the engagement which you're doing with the customers.
Okay.
It has to everything now is moving towards ROI. Everything has to move towards ROI very clearly, right?
Awesome.
So irrespective, of you generating 1 billion impressions or one impression, right? The sale is what really matters here to the
Right.
advertiser, right? If he can
Right.
sell, he will follow you always. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Vivek.
Great.
I mean, I'm totally out of time. I think that was a great discussion, a little bit of insight into your industry as well. Thank you so
Sure.
much. We wish Applied Mobile Labs from Jagriti Yatra all the best, and to you
Thank
as
you so
well.
much. Thanks, Anand.
All right.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.